All right, boys, we are back with another episode of post-game reaction to what we just witnessed. Louisville holds off NC State in a defensive performance to remember. Ron English brought it tonight. He brought some pressure tonight at times. The defense lived up to their billing. Was it pretty? It absolutely was not pretty. Nothing about it was pretty. But guess what? We are 5-0, baby. We will be ranked, and we're heading into Notre Dame ranked. Notre Dame, we need you to beat Duke, stay in the top, get back in the top 10. But tonight, I don't have words for what I saw tonight. I don't know. There were so many highs and lows, and it seems to be the case with this team. It seems to be just the kind of performance we're going to expect, where you could either blow them out, you could choke and lose, or you could win a close game. And it seems to be the case a lot more often than not. But we are 5-0, Patrick. We are 5-0.
I just need everybody. First of all, I need everybody to chill. Okay, we got to chill.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody getting too hyped, too down. We got to chill.
Yeah. Yeah. In our Discord, there's people that get in there and they're like, hey, you guys need to calm down. Like, no, bro, it's a live Discord during a hectic game. Nobody's going to be calm. Like, I took my shirt off and filmed it on the Discord.
Well, I mean, my poor wife is asleep. Probably heard me banging stuff in my office, man.
I apologize to whoever saw me shirtless in the Discord, by the way, but that happened, and I don't regret it. That being said, man, first off, let me go down this chat line here. Trent, good to see you. Connor, glad to see you in here. Jason, Couch House, always here. Ty, welcome for joining. Ty, you should be in here with us, man. That being said, Patrick, what do you think, man? Where do you start? It's got to be the defense, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know how
it was a big cock Brock with the 53-yarder.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't mean this to be sexist in any way, but I know how my wife now feels that time of the month, man, because I went through about 50 different emotions during that game. I thought it was over multiple times. I thought, we were going to blow it open at some point in the second half when we kept getting stops. A lot of different emotions. I'll say this. I've been hating on Ron English since he was here the first time around. And that man had a game plan tonight, and the defense executed it. I mean, I think NC State had just over 200 yards of offense. And, we brought pressure when we needed to bring pressure.
Yep.
And against a QB like Armstrong, it was obvious to me that guy cannot make throws towards the sidelines. His only big completions were really over the middle.
Over the middle. That's right.
And when we did bring pressure, like we did that last play with the big pick and the play earlier where we got the pick, he made bad decisions. And so I'll give our defensive line some credit. Our cornerbacks were and safeties played unbelievable, other than the one bad Minkins play. I got to see a lot more from our offense next week. I think Jeff and Jack need to work on, blitz packages against them and decision making, and we got to get our offensive line to create some holes, when there's that type of pressure for our running backs. But to be honest with you, that was a hard game to run in because they loaded the box and brought everybody most of the game. So.
Oh, okay, Macro, I hear you, man. Like, we got lucky, but I don't necessarily agree. And I'm not being biased. Let me tell you why. First off, for anybody that listens, glad we won. We got lucky. The refs gave us targeting and hitting kicker penalty. While I will agree, I'll give you this much. The targeting thing, I hate the call so much that I think it should have gotten a pass. Hitting the kicker, I don't necessarily like the rule in that circumstance, but that's the rule, man. Like, you've got to know the time and situation if you're the defender there He ran into the kicker. Now,
Yep.
did he sell it some? Absolutely. But like I heard them talking about it on the commentator saying, I think that was a little bit of acting. It doesn't, bro, it doesn't matter if he was acting. He ran into the kicker. That's the rule.
Yep.
So the thing is, I don't give him any slack for that. And don't forget, they took a touchdown off the board that we got. How do you call a touchdown for Bell earlier in that game? And then when we had the same exact situation happen again,
yeah.
You don't give us a touchdown. I don't know what that crackhead booth review guy was saying when he said the NC State's foot came down first.
Yeah.
Everybody knows if the offensive and defensive player both have possession of the ball, the offensive guy gets it.
Yeah.
I know that. I don't
especially when it ended with the offensive guy having the ball by himself, man. I just
so let's not, yeah. And then all the drops and stuff. I mean, we have so many drops. Jack Plummer gave them the biggest gift you could possibly give those guys. In the end zone, throwing that inexcusable pass. We, I can't say that like we got lucky in the sense that we could have got beat, but I don't think the refs gave us anything. I think the refs had a couple of calls, like I said, on both sides. Like I think the targeting call was iffy. And then, like I said, that touchdown they took off the board for us, like if anything, they owed us, to be honest, because that was awful, man.
Yeah, that was awful. So, and like you said, man, not to harp on freaking announcers, man, but the guy, the guy that they bring in who's supposed to be the rules analyst and everything, his one job is to analyze, the rules. And he sounded like a complete dumbass about 2 or 3 times.
That time with the touchdown, like, dude, it doesn't matter if the guy's foot hit him bounce first for the defender. That's not the rule. I don't care. I don't even have to have the rule book to know. Like, if the offense, they literally just had that happen the other play, and they gave us a touchdown. So don't give me that. But anyway, that aside, there were too many times in this game where like it seemed like neither team could just seal the deal. It was so ugly, but like Ty said, it's ugly, but we don't care. We're 5-0. That's right.
Yeah.
Jack Plummer going to be murdered by a Jeff one game. He's tough, man. He does great things, and then he does just mind-boggling things. Like, you cannot get a read on this guy. Offensive line needs to work on blitz pickup. Tron, I want to touch on that. You're right. They knew our snap count. They timed it, and I think it was the way Hudson was moving his head, but I can't confirm that because he kept moving his head the same way. I'm not sure if that's what they picked up on or if it was something else. But NC State knew when we were snapping that ball. They timed it perfectly. So whatever it is that we are doing, however we're timing the snap, we probably need to fix that going into Notre Dame, because if NC State figured it out, everybody else will too.
We need to work
catch up on these comments here. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I think the snap count, you brought that up, and it's funny. My buddy, who's in the Discord, he probably first drive of the game said they know our snap count, and it was obvious because they were off the ball right when we snapped it almost every time. And so, that's something you got to work on. I think some of that's due probably to the crowd noise and having to have a silent snap count. And there was obviously some tell, like you said, probably with Hudson. So you got to work on that. You got to work on just finding some plays that are going to be quick outs against the blitz. We had some, but there was so many times, and maybe it was more Jack than the plays, where the ball was held on to too long. And you've got to have those quick slants, those quick outs. I thought we did a decent job with the screen game. We got some big plays out of that against the blitz. We got to figure out how to make the running game work against the blitz, but that's hard when they're jumping the snap. So there wasn't a ton to like on offense.
No.
But we did enough to get it done.
But the defense, man, we actually brought some pressure. There were still times we didn't. Like, there was a 3rd and 14, I think, and we rushed 3 or 4. We rushed 4, I think, and he carved us up. But I mean, look, man, you're not going to get every single play. I do think on that one play we should have brought pressure. I was mad, but there were other times we did bring pressure, including that interception we got in the end zone. We brought the house. He made a quick decision. That's what I've been preaching. Oh, Ron English been watching the Third Banner pod. I'm kidding, guys. I'm saying that in jest. I don't actually believe that. I'm not that crazy. But, hey, he brought the pressure. And like we've been saying on here, you have to make quicker decisions. And when you make quicker decisions, you're more susceptible to turning the ball over. And that's what happened. Corey Bryant, I don't know if I've seen your name on here. So welcome to the Third Banner pod, Corey. He wrote, to be honest, I was surprised how many blitzes were called against us, and we didn't audible to pass protect. When they stacked the box, we didn't check out of it. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you that we did not do a good job against the blitz. I did see Jack Plummer audibling out of it, and his decisions, I don't know. No offense, Jack Plummer. I don't think you have a future as an offense coordinator, my friend, because some of those calls, like when you called the draw to yourself, when you had two guys blitzing right up the middle, you could see them coming. And you quarterback draw, and you lost like 2 yards, like that kind of stuff. I don't know, man, but hey, defense got us out of it. And how about this? Jeff Brom decides that we are going to kick a field goal from 53 yards out in the first half. Every one of us were like punt, punt, and then it was an awful kick. It was to the left, and it was, I don't even think it went far enough, but it was definitely to the left. Like far, he shanked it, and we were like, any of us could have called that he was obviously going to miss that. We should have never kicked it. We should have punted it. So what does he do? He comes back out in the second half, and Discord, all of us in the live chat are like, punt, punt, punt. This is a horrible, horrible, horrible idea, and he boots it, which redeems Jeff Brom's call in the first half. It just means that's why he did it. Clearly, that's why he's the coach. Well, but did we really think he was going to nail a 53-yard field goal? Oh, I don't think anyone that was just a casual watcher of the game thought he's going to nail that. That's the player of the game right there. Now, I know the defense. The defense as a whole is the playing unit of the game, but if you kick a 53-yard field goal that wins you the game, I got to give you the individual player of the game.
Yeah.
So it's definitely Big Cock Brock, man.
So this is what I'll say.
Cock trophy, because I mean he earned it, man. Not that he would probably want that, but hey, you're the player of the game, my friend. That's the point.
This is what I'll say. If I had a top 5 MVP for that game, top 5 rankings, and a top 5 LVP for that game, I might put Brock in both of them, because huge field goal wins us the game. Huge acting job on the running into the kicker, which I think was a running into the kicker, but he sold it too. But my God, man, can the guy punt the ball more than 35 yards? I mean, the flipping of the field between the punting game was a big thing in that game. I mean, we punted 35 yards, get a 3 and out. They punted 50 yards. That's a 15-yard difference there. So Brock was awesome.
Maybe.
And gosh, man, I think I believe in him as a kicker. I'm not saying I'm going to want him kicking 50-plus yard field goals all the time, but he showed me he can do it. Well, we got to find a punter, though, man. I mean, you got to be able to consistently kick it 40 yards.
I'm with you, man. Definitely with the punting.
Yeah, especially in a game like that, a defensive field position game, you've got to be able to flip the field and win special teams. And we did because of that field goal probably, but other than that, the special teams were pretty bad.
Yeah, for sure. I agree, Patrick. Macro, I was going to get to this point next, and Macro already beat me to it. He said it was close because Brom was pass happy today. 35 passes by Plummer. Brom didn't try to run running backs. Yeah. What was going on with that? Like, I'll give you the example that the horrible interception throw down there in their end zone when Jack Plummer should have thrown it out of the end zone. Really, that should have been a run. I mean, it was like what, 1st and goal at the 8, I think.
5, I think.
5, whatever it was. And like we hadn't been running the ball. Another thing I noticed was with the amount of play action fakes. Like, okay, if they're bringing like 7 or 8 dudes, you don't have time to play action. You don't have that time. You just don't. That takes a full second. And like seconds are like milliseconds when it comes to getting blitz and having like a bunch of guys coming for your throat, coming right at your neck. I mean, if you're going to pass it with a full all out blitz, fine. But I mean, my goodness, like always having to play fake it, hand it off, pull the ball back.
Mhm.
Like, I'd like to see that kind of go away some in the future if we're getting blitz like that. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree.
And the run, yeah, we need to run the ball more. Isaac Garindo,
Yeah,
he played out like what, 1 or 2 carries?
yeah. I mean, the running game, it's so hard because there was no. I mean, it was evident that our O linemen weren't opening up holes. There wasn't any lanes to run in. But you gotta keep trying it to keep them honest, so that on those play actions
MVP,
you get some more
Travis
time. We ran play action a ton, and it worked a couple times. But man, the one thing, and I'll give NC State's defensive
I
coordinator.
agree, Brian.
I'll give him credit for this. Jack, when he gets pressure from the outside, I'm not too worried. It's when it comes up the middle, and I think that's every quarterback, but Jack is especially bad when the pressure comes up the middle, where
You're right.
his decision making when somebody's in his face is just bad. And they brought the pressure up the middle.
They challenge him. I thought Boston College would do that more, and I do remember a couple times them doing it. And Jack actually made some good decisions in that game. But man, NC State said, "Oh, we're not just going to do it a couple times. We're going to do it all the time."
All the time.
Oh, it looks like Ash has joined us down here. Let's see. Hold on, let me get our stuff looking right as far as our banners go. Hang on a second, Ash. Takes me a while. I can't explain. I don't have a mouse. There we go.
There we are.
Ash, where you at, man?
I just got back to my car, guys. I can't tell you what an awesome night it was. I got the opportunity to go out and check Vandergrift High School tonight, playing Manor High School here in Austin, Texas.
So who are you watching, Ash?
I got a chance to watch, our boy Deuce Adams throw 6 touchdown passes tonight, 4 to his brother Eli, who is also a senior. So, I mean, dude was dropping dimes everywhere, and Eli made a catch that, I kid you not, was probably the play of the game. It was probably a 35, 40-yard touchdown pass where Eli had to make an adjustment and hold the defender off on his right hip while he turned and made a catch down on his left side, on the sideline. Ended up scoring on the play. I mean, it was a really phenomenal catch. But Deuce was throwing the ball all over the field.
So does Deuce look? There's a lot of haters on Third Banner Pod right now because I said Deuce could potentially compete for the starting position next year as a freshman. Now, let me elaborate. I didn't mean necessarily game one he's going to be a starting quarterback. But I said that Deuce could compete. I'm not saying – I know Pierce is probably the front runner. I have no doubt about that. But, Ash, did you see anything tonight from Deuce? Watching him in person since you live down there in Austin, what do you think? I mean, I don't know. Am I still kind of crazy? Is it just because it's high school, or was he really that dude?
I mean, it was really pretty impressive how he was hitting his runners in stride. He was not just always going to the first receiver, too. Like in high school, a lot of times, because players can be so overpowering, a lot of times the first receiver is just the guy, he's just immediately wide open. There was a couple times where he had to hit like the second or the third option, and he did that really well. I mean, it was just really an impressive performance watching that in person. And that team, they just dominated tonight. Vandergrift has a lot of good players.
Maybe his brother can walk on as a receiver. I don't know. I mean, I don't
know.
Are they twins?
They're both brother. I didn't realize he even had a brother. They're both seniors. They're not twins. They're a year apart. But yeah, I mean, they were really both impressive out there.
That's so cool. You got to watch Deuce. Did you get to see him after the game at all, or was it?
I didn't. I'm actually outside the stadium right now. That's why the video quality is kind of poor on my phone.
That's cool though, man. That's cool. Yeah, Mike Price says, hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Um, by all means, please do. It helps get us out there to other people that may be looking as well. That being said, Ash, because you watched Deuce Adams tonight, you missed a wild game, man. So I'll try to summarize, but we won on defense and defense alone. Well, I won't say defense alone because Travel State hit a 53-yard field goal to win the game. It wasn't a game winner, but it wasn't walk-off game winner, but it did win the game in the sense that, we were tied and he hit that. And it was after he missed a 53-yarder by a mile in the first half when we all were mad that Jeff Brom didn't punt the ball. And then he turns around and does it again. And I was losing my mind. And then it goes in.
I saw everybody's reaction to the field goal being made. I didn't realize, because obviously I wasn't watching the game, I didn't realize we had missed one earlier in the game.
Same distance. Crazier. And it wasn't just that he missed it. I mean, he missed it by a country mile, not a city mile, a country mile, like where I live. And
it hit my dog in the backyard.
Yeah, he has to take his dog to the veterinarian.
Yeah.
Oh my
because
goodness.
it got hit by that football. And then they turn around and do it again and just nailed it.
Right down the middle. And he probably had an extra 7 yards on it, man.
Hey, Southern NC, Louisville outcoached us simple. Dave's got to go. Man, I don't know. Y'all played a good game. I mean, y'all played a good game. It was an ugly game for both teams. Thanks for joining us, man. I have no shade towards it. I actually like NC State's fans. They remind me a lot of our fans from what little interactions I've had.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a small sample size for me. It was an ugly game. I was impressed with NC State's defense.
Yeah, that D
I think both quarterbacks. I said on the pod earlier this week that Jack Plummer and Brandon Armstrong reminded me a lot of each other, like highs and lows. And tonight, I mean, that take seemed to be pretty valid because neither quarterback had a good game at all. I mean, let's just be honest. So thankfully, our defense was able to, for us as Louisville fans, our defense was able to make a few more plays. So,
man, I'll tell you too. Since we've got a NC State fan in here,
I'm with you.
Linebacker Peyton Wilson, he's a pro, man. He was all over the field. I think he had 2 sacks, a pass breakup. I mean, closing speed. That guy's a pro.
That dude is a pro. He's a good player. That one play, Jack Plummer looked right at him and was like, "Hey, man, that's a great play." The play where Jack didn't even freaking see him and threw it right to him. But, he did what he had to do. And that made an athletic play, batted down. Neil says we should have won 20-10. I mean, yeah, for anybody I wasn't in here earlier, I said, it's head scratching that we get a touchdown with a jump ball, which is how it always is. The offensive player gets it. The very next time we go down the field, the same exact thing happens. They review it and they say it was just incomplete. It couldn't have been incomplete no matter what. Both players possessed the ball inbounds per college rules. Now, the guy reviewing the booth review said, well, you should give it to NC State because his foot was down first. That is not the rule. And I don't know why he said that, considering the exact same thing happened the series before. And they gave us a touchdown. And then all of a sudden, the same exact thing happens. And they're like, no, we're just going to call it incomplete. I feel like the refs didn't want to make the wrong decision. So they just made a wrong decision that kind of, in a way, I feel like it screwed us more than NC State in that situation. Because, I mean, to me, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
I also think that, I'm not trying to cut the refs slack because they should have called the touchdown to begin with. But the camera views on that replay, you could never see the ball really. I think it was fairly obvious by when he came down with the ball that he had the ball, but you could not see inbounds that he had the ball, which is why I think they kept it the same. I don't agree with it, but
Connor said earlier that the reason they timed their snap count was because Renato's arm, the way it was moving, like when he moves his arm, Hudson moves his head, and then they snap the ball. So I don't know. I don't know what it was. He might be right, but clearly they timed our snap count. They had it down, and that was a big problem, especially in the run game. Because, it was a big problem overall. We got 10 points. or no, we got 13 points, excuse me. And it was like,
Right.
it was a struggle. But I'll tell you what we're going to do, guys. This is a post-game reaction, I'm going to share this link in the chat. And if anybody wants to get on there.
Well, and then while you're doing that, Kyle, I just did get a little bit of a tip that what is our bye week? Does anybody know our bye week?
I think it's after Pittsburgh, maybe. I think it's after Pittsburgh before Duke.
I did get a tip tonight that Coach Brom will be in attendance at Vandegrift during our bye week.
Oh,
so
cool.
Let me look. It is, it's after Pitt. So Pitt we play Pitt 10-14 and before Duke on 10-28. So our bye week's 10-21.
He has told Deuce's family that he would be down here in attendance.
Okay, cool.
For the game during U of L's bye week. So
you need to go to that game, man.
Right?
Yeah, wear your Louisville stuff and then be like, Jeff, what's up? But
tell him to listen to the Third Banner Pod.
I mean, that's got to be pretty cool if he did see you up there in the stands at his game with a freaking Louisville flag and outfit and stuff. That's pretty cool, man. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure that he will know that I was there. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did share the link.
Family?
I shared the link.
I wasn't
going
to say
if anybody
that,
if anybody decides they want to get on here and give some feedback about the game at all, just click the link and I'll see you enter the lobby and then I can bring you on. It's up to you guys. I mean, nobody has to, but I mean, it's kind of like how they do it on the radio when people call
in show.
Yeah, like call in, but you kind of video in from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
I just know, Notre Dame, you're next, man. And I mean, we've got a lot of things to clean up. But we've done what we needed to do in the ugliest way possible sometimes. We're 5-0. We will be ranked. I'm hoping Notre Dame beats Duke. Look, do we really want Notre Dame 3-2 coming in there? I mean, yeah, we'll take whatever we have to get and we'll try to win. But let's get Notre Dame as a top 10 team, man. Let's get them as a top 10 team. We'll be in a top 25. Make it as big. That will be one of the top 5 biggest home games in our program's history. I mean, it'd have to rank up there just probably under the West Virginia game in 2005 because that was 2 undefeated top 5 teams. Yeah, that's probably the biggest one ever. Then you got the Lamar Florida State game. That's up there because College Game Day came.
That was 2 top 10 undefeated teams too, I think. Florida State was second, I think.
One year we beat Miami like a drum when we were ranked number 12 and they were ranked pretty high. But it's right there with a lot of those games,
Definitely.
It's huge. And if we would have lost this game tonight, yeah, we would have still brought the crowd against Notre Dame for sure. But it wouldn't hit the same. It would not hit the same as being ranked and undefeated. I can tell you that now. So
yeah. Well, and you got to think
it's tough. I'll say that we've learned this team is tough and they can win in weird ways. Like you can score 56, you can have an explosive offense most of the year, but then you have times like against IU where you make a defensive stand at the goal line, and against NC State where I know NC State's offense struggles. I know they have their struggles, but you could argue that our defense at times has its struggles, and they didn't tonight. I mean, they absolutely came out and did what they needed to do. Special teams is kind of a disaster in a lot of ways, but it came through for us in the hugest way possible when we needed it to. And I mean, there's times where you lose these kind of games and you have to learn from losing. I'm thinking we're going to learn from winning, and I'd much rather learn while being undefeated. Because I mean, this team's not anywhere close to reaching its potential. Nowhere near it.
No,
I agree.
The good thing is that it seems like, and I didn't watch the game tonight, but based off of the fact that we didn't score any points in the first half and then had to come back and win, it seems like our track record is that we're better in the second half than the first half. So,
yeah, and I mean, first I don't even today. I think in the first half we just made more mistakes than in the second half. I don't think our offense played well either half. But, I mean, my goodness, it was there. It was there so many times for the taking. And we just have to thank the defense, and we have to thank Travelstead for knocking in a freaking 50. I can't get over that, man. A 53-yard field goal in college.
Yeah.
Nailed it. I mean, he could have made it from about 57, 58 probably.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but in my head when I was watching it, it looked like it was perfect right on. And maybe it was that Justin Tucker kick last Sunday. it made me think, like, I thought that was going in, and then it was like 10 yards short. So in the back of my mind, I just kept like waiting to see the refs hold their hands up. I was like, no way, no way, no way, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Well, I couldn't believe it when I saw that in the chat.
Yeah. I thought, going back to the defense in the first and the second half, the defense played well in the first half. In the second half, the difference was the defense caused turnovers. I think we had 3 turnovers in the second half, and they all put us either stopped them from scoring, like the interception in the end zone, or they put us in good field position, like the fumble, or they iced the game, like the last interception. So that was huge. And I really want to emphasize this. This was a huge game for multiple reasons. For one, we're 3-0 in the ACC now. So, we've got a legitimate shot, to be in the ACC championship game if we play good football. So being 3-0 in the ACC is huge. It means more, the conference win, almost more than the Notre Dame game next week. And then number 2, in relation to the Notre Dame game, this just sets up, you're 5-0. You've got Notre Dame coming to the Cardinal Stadium at 7:00 on a Saturday. You're going to be mentioned all day on college football games, college football broadcasts, which is huge for recruiting, is huge for our national perception. This was just a really, really big win that we needed for this program to continue to take that next step. And really, we're talking about conference realignment in the next few years. We need a few good years here.
So I got Trent in the lobby here. Now, Trent is I call him the offensive line guru. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about that tonight, among other things. Let me bring him in here. Trent, what's
up,
going
boys?
on, man?
Living the dream. No.
Oh, got the little one.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the game on TV. I had to watch it on my phone running errands. But I was going to say a few things. Long-time listener, first-time caller. No, but it's a Chris Bell game.
Yeah,
been waiting on that.
Haven't even mentioned him.
Been talking about Bell all summer, so I'm glad he finally got active and got in there.
Monster.
I do like seeing that, like you were saying earlier, that this team can win in different ways. It's not just scoring 40 on somebody and hoping we outscore them. We can win with the defense, win with the offense. I am a little worried about special teams, but Travel said's been better kicking than we thought he would be, I think.
I don't think anybody could have guessed.
Field goal
Somebody tells me they had all the faith in the world he's going to nail 53-yarder. I'm calling you out.
I miss Bassett, but can't have everything.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys saw Connor said it in the comments, but Coach JB has officially passed Kenny Payne in wins, so that's a milestone right there.
Man. Come on, let's not even it's too good of a night to even go.
I just wanted you to get another 15 viewers in here.
You're about to lose 15, all the basketball fans. But,
do you think KP was rooting
what do you think of the
for us
line,
to win?
Trent? KP was probably at Topgolf. He wasn't watching. He wasn't paying attention.
Trent, what do you think of the offensive line?
I want to rewatch it to get a good look. Tyler didn't look great, but they had some speed on the edges. That Peyton Wilson, man, he's a dog. I know watching it, he was the only guy that really stood out on their defense, and he's legit. But they stacked the box. I think I saw it was like 70% of the defensive plays that they had 7 or 8. They were bringing 7 or 8, so that's a numbers game. It's kind of hard to block that with 5, obviously. There was a few plays that they had Kariski or Lifson on Wilson. And that's a mistake every time. That's not going to end well. I do want to rewatch it and see how the O-line played. But if this is not the first game that Tyler's kind of struggled, and if necessary, I wouldn't mind seeing Gonzalez slide back out and maybe give John Paul Flores a chance at the guard, or even Austin Collins. Austin Collins looked really good against Boston College and some that he played in the second half. So.
Yeah, Yeah, it wasn't our best game on offense, but that's what's great. We didn't. I mean, we could have used it, but in the end, as far as wins and losses, we didn't need it. So hopefully they can take whatever they need to take from this game, throw out the stuff that didn't work, adjust, and get ready for Notre Dame because, I mean, they're going to be even harder. We'll have the home field behind us, but they're going to have some fans there as well. And by then, we'll be their third big game in 3 weeks. So they're going to be hard and they're going to be battle tested. And we will have to tweak some things. And hopefully on defense, some things we did will carry over into that game.
Yeah, I think defensively, I think he called a pretty good game. I mean, I still have flashbacks from Brian Brown every time we drop 8, but I thought we blitzed pretty well this game and got lucky with the interception. Cam Kelly was, he played very well today. I think he should always be in the starting lineup.
I agree with that. Now, Fabian,
that's just me.
Fabian, real quick. I mean, I do disagree about the UK stance that they don't still talk about only winning 9 games a couple of years ago because most of my extended family are hardcore UK fans in the Waddy, Kentucky, middle of nowhere. They want Calipari gone. Most of them want him gone, and most of it relates to that year. But nonetheless, and that year's much further removed than our year. So you kind of have to expect we had a worse year, and it's a lot closer. But nonetheless, let's just stick to what we're doing right, which is football right now.
Yeah, my bad.
There's plenty of time to talk about basketball down the road. And tonight ain't the night. We're undefeated. We're 5-0, no matter what anybody thinks about basketball. Ash down there in the bottom right just got done watching, for anybody that just joined, just got done watching Deuce Adams. Ash lives in Austin. Deuce threw for 6 touchdowns tonight, and he got to watch it in person wearing Louisville gear, representing the Third Banner Pod. So that's pretty cool,
Where's that flag, Ash? Where's the flag?
It's
Connor,
in my car
if you
here.
have family in Waddy, you are related to me, buddy, because my extended family.
You can't really see it too well in here, but
yeah.
Well, and then 4
really
of those touchdowns were to his brother. So
yeah, I always knew me and Connor were related. No, I'm just kidding.
I've got to look up Deuce's brother now.
We're brothers and father sons.
No, we live in Kentucky. We're all probably related one way or another. Well, I guess you live in Andy, but
they call it the 2 degrees of separation. Wait,
what, we have 3 takeaways tonight? Is that what you guys said?
2 interceptions and a fumble. Yeah,
we had 3, and they had 2, didn't they?
I think Cam Kelly had an interception.
Quincy Riley
had the game-winning interception, and then I think Cam Kelly forced a fumble, and Purrier picked it up.
We had 3, and they had 3 because they got the fumble on Jack, and they got 2 picks on them, didn't they?
Yeah, Jack had a really bad interception in the end zone.
That was that was like when
he immediately threw his hands over his head. Like, I guess I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he's not used to having teammates wearing red and black, and he just got confused there for a second since he threw 6 touchdowns to another team wearing all black.
And why are we, not that Jack, he made a terrible decision, should have thrown out of the end zone at the very least, but why was he even in a position on 1st and goal at the 5 to throw the football? I mean, that's the thing. I feel like, we did not run the ball great tonight. NC State had timed their snap count, and they were getting in the backfield, but you can't just abandon it, man. And it's like, at the very least, when you're tied like that, you're at the 5-yard line, you're going to get a field goal. You don't have to rely on a 53-yard field goal to win. If you just, you run the ball, you lose a yard. You don't get a touchdown, whatever. You're not throwing an interception.
I think they were so concerned with them stacking the box, they're trying to get speed on the outside because we only saw carries really from Jaws and Turner. Yeah. I would have liked to see IG get some carries. If you're going to run between the tackles and when they're stacking the box, he's somebody who's going to fall forward, get you a couple extra yards. But I think he only got 1 or 2 carries this game.
I thought definitely the last series too. He should have been in the game. That when you're trying to run out the clock, I love. Listen, I've said Jawar is a all ACC type running back, but when you're trying to run out the clock, you need your beef in there to fall forward to get those hard yards. And I thought he should have been in the last drive.
I feel like the last couple games, IG's carries have been really, really light, but that's just me.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing: you only have so many. Like, you only have one football to share. But here's the thing: like, they obviously locked in on Jawar Jordan. It doesn't hurt to throw somebody else in there and give them a. You've got the guys. Use them. I mean, maybe they stop IG as well. I'm not claiming that IG gets in there and does significantly better. But like you said, Trent, I think he can fall forward for a couple of yards. Jawar is a beast, and he's an explosive running back, big play home run guy. But if I'm looking for if they're stacking the line, I'm like, I just need to get a couple of yards every once in a while. I'm giving it to IG because he usually falls forward. He's more power back, Yeah. So I don't know. I'd like us to not just totally abandon the run like we did. Putting Jack, I mean, I don't think Jack's quite there, especially on the road where he can just take a game completely over. He may have a game like a Boston College, but I don't think, when they're bringing the house every play and making him make quick decisions, you can't just abandon your run and put it all on his shoulders. I just don't think he's made for that right now. And maybe I'm wrong, but he didn't show that tonight for sure. He needs to be thanking defense. He needs to be thanking Big Cock Brock for hitting a 53-yard field goal. I mean,
I agree, man.
I will say,
the thing too, I think Jawar's talent is he sees a hole and he hits it immediately. There weren't many holes there tonight, and so that's when you need that big boy running back that's going to push the pile and stuff.
I think Jaws missed some cutbacks today too, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought this was his worst game vision-wise. I've been so impressed with him all year of finding that hole and immediately hitting it. And I don't mean to be that sounds awful, but
yeah, it is midnight or it is close to midnight. Freaks come out.
But,
nobody would have noticed that if you would have said that at like 8 p.m. But
yeah,
this time of night, everybody noticed.
Yeah, but I agree. There was some cutback lanes where I think he missed, and it may have been in his head because there wasn't much room to operate, and that can get into a guy's head. So
I don't know if any of you guys are Cowboys fan. I'm not, but I like football. Last year when they had Pollard and Zeke, and the way they kind of used them in tandem is how I wish we would use Jaws and IG. I think they would complement each other well that way.
Yeah. No, I agree because Turner's very similar to Jaws, and IG is a completely different running back in my opinion.
I think Turner's he's such an athlete. I wouldn't mind seeing him out in the slot some. But.
Well, he had a chance today. I can't remember if it was on a screen or on a run. I can't, but he could have cut back and got a lot of yards, and he went right into the defender. And I was like, man. But hey, at the end of the day, boys, next week's huge. We did what we had to do. It doesn't matter how we got there. We're there. We took there was a path, a much cleaner, less rugged path with less obstacles in the way to get to the finish line. But we decided we were going to take the scenic route, which was also the rugged route. And there were boulders, wild animals attacking us left and right. And we come out with holes all over our shirt, blood, scrapes. But we're there, man. We're at the finish line, 5-0, heading into Notre Dame. And this was a game, if you remember, anybody that watched our pod in the off season, I know me and Ty definitely predicted this would be our first loss against NC State before the year, thinking we did think they would be a little better than they were. Thankfully, they weren't because we would have probably been in trouble. But this was the first loss I know us two picked, and I feel like at least one other person picked us to lose this game. I think Ross may have. I don't think you did, Ash. I think you picked us to win that game.
Georgia Tech.
But yeah.
Ash gonna give me so much shit forever on that game.
Yeah, you're not gonna live that one down.
10-2 prediction, but Georgia Tech.
Yep, it's all good. But me and Ty definitely thought this would be our first loss in all season. We'd start 4-0, drop it to NC State in a trap game on the road. We didn't drop it. It doesn't matter how bad it looked at times. We are 5-0.
And I can't. I went on a rant on this earlier, but
Maria English says 12-0. Now I'm just highlighting you because your last name's English, if that is indeed your last name. And
Ron's son.
Your father or grandfather or brother or cousin is a beast.
Never a doubt.
He's coach of the game tonight.
Yeah. But seriously, I hyped this up earlier, but being 3-0 in the ACC is just huge. I mean, you've got, I mean, have we started 3-0 in the ACC since we've been in the ACC?
No.
Yeah, no.
That's big because you're live for a conference championship game, which, I mean, that's ever since we've gotten into the ACC. My dream is to play in the ACC championship, and
we have the second best odds in the ACC to make the ACC championship behind FSU. Part of that's a product of our schedule. We don't play Clemson, we don't play Florida State, but we have a shot.
Yep,
as real as we've ever had.
Yep.
I'm just glad I didn't wake my wife up when I took my shirt off and was yelling blitz because I whispered it.
I had just made it home when we got the interception with Riley, and I woke both the boys up.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Ashley,
we got some future offensive linemen
where I took my shirt off and I was celebrating. So it was a sight for sore eyes. If you think the game was ugly, buddy,
it got
worse in the live stream.
Every time I went to check the Discord to see what was happening in the game, because for some reason my ESPN and Yahoo apps weren't working real well. Data was terrible in that stadium tonight. Yeah. But every time I went to check the Discord, because it was actually flowing pretty good. Every time I went to check to see what was going on, though, like somebody would post that stupid Friday Night Lights gif with the whipped cream bikini, and I'm like sitting right next to Deuce Adams' family, and I'm like trying to hide my phone. So
that was Josh.
They're like, "What pervert did we invite?"
It once, and we had a good play. I think we scored. So then, in his mind, he had to keep doing it. Yeah. Now, look, when I took my shirt off, we started doing well, too. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to keep taking my shirt off. I damn near took my pants off at the end of that game, though. I was so damn happy.
Maybe you need to –
not a nudist on this pod. I was so fucking pumped.
Listen, Kyle, you need to recreate the whipped cream picture yourself.
No, we don't need to see that.
We can use that.
Whipped cream like that. What did whipped cream do to deserve such a punishment?
You guys can make a third banner pod calendar, and that can be the December.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man!
But I need Ty and Connor. I need Ty and Connor shirtless on one of those.
December is my birthday, but no, hey, I'm not gonna put whipped cream on my body. Whipped cream doesn't deserve that kind of punishment. What did it do to deserve such a cruel and unusual punishment? Come on now. Yeah, the feds will shut us down, Ty says, if we do that. They already suspended us when we shared the YouTube thing. They will absolutely just expel us. Yeah. Like we're a high school delinquent. They will just expel us off of here if I take my shirt off.
Now, if I took my shirt off, I'd probably get a public indecency charge.
Good reason. For one, I'm pale and I'm not in the best of shape. Oh, but hey, it was great, guys. Does anybody else have anything? Is there in the chat? Does anybody else want to join in here? I'm still pumped. Ashley, you got to go that game, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was a good time. And Deuce was throwing dimes, man. I can't explain to you. There was a slant route that he threw. Like, he just read it and immediately made that pass right on the money into the end zone. It was about an 8-yard touchdown pass. And I don't remember if that was one that Eli caught or if it was another guy. But, man, it was a beautiful – I mean, it just happened so fast that I was just really impressed by Deuce, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, he was really throwing dimes out there tonight. He led his receivers on so many of those long yardage plays. I mean, he was just really impressive.
I know. I give third shit sometimes if the Deuce talk, but aside from his arm strength, which is not concerning, but it's not at a high level. He can put some zip and some touch on the ball. Like he's a very good.
It's getting better, Trent.
That's what he said. I know. He's a very good intermediate passer for sure. I think Clarkson's like that too, but I think he's got a lot more. He's got better touch and accuracy than even Clarkson does.
Well,
I do agree with that.
I mean,
the throw that I mentioned before, where
it's going to be tough for sure. I mean, hey, I'm all for whoever.
I'd like to see how much of Clarkson is name versus actual play.
I'm looking forward to the quarterback competition next.
Yeah, it's not 8th year Malik Cunningham.
I think you got two young guns that either one of them over time are going to be a really, really good quarterback here. And I don't know which one it'll be. I know. Obviously, if I had to pick today, it'd be Pierce.
I think Allen might.
Allen's got a chance.
Allen's got every physical measurable for sure, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him. Aaron B says his girlfriend my girlfriend and I changed shirts at halftime. Not saying that's why we won, but I'm not saying it's not. Well, did you all wear each other's shirts? That's what I want to know. I mean, I don't know how far. Like, are you just changing shirts for your own individual shirts, or did y'all switch shirts with each other? Because that can get kind of weird. But hey,
I don't know how far they went with this.
I don't judge, but inquiring minds want to know. Trent.
Hey, Trent.
He switched to a water cup and we scored. So then he proceeded to drink a gallon of water out of it.
Neil, why aren't you hitting that link?
That's why Neil's not ever on the pot. He's on the pot pissing.
Neil's the most positive individual in the Discord, man. I'll tell you that right now. We could be down 30 to nothing, and Neil would think we had a chance.
There's a few of them, and that's great. The ones that kill me are the ones that are like, you guys need to calm it down in here. Like it's like being at a college frat party, and you're like, you guys are being a little bit too loud in here. The decibel level is a little too high. Like, I mean, it's a live game chat, and it's stressful, and you get to see all of it. Are there some stupid takes in there? Yes. Are some of them from me? Maybe all of them. But nonetheless, I mean, that's just how it is. Like, that's how fandom is. Like, if you sit and watch the game with a group of your buddies, you got people freaking out during the game. I'm not saying like be belligerent, but you get people like, oh my God, fuck. Like, it's just how it is, man. And I love it. I love it. And it's like, you can't, I guess what I'm saying is you can't take that kind of stuff serious in the heat of the game.
Yeah.
Like,
for me, being a fan is about getting to the highest of highs and going to the lowest of lows, all in a 3-hour period of watching a game, man. That's how I watch a game. I'll watch a game and I will say we are the worst team in the country, and then 5 minutes later we're gonna challenge for the ACC. That's how I watch games, man. I live and die by every play, and not everybody.
I know it's irrational. I know it's irrational, but I'm not here to claim I'm the rational fan during the game. I'm not here to claim that.
Definitely not.
Is it Uriah? I'm gonna say Uriah. If I'm wrong, correct me. But Uriah says, "Please come to the Notre Dame game. Everyone come, please." I don't think that's gonna be a problem for that.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a problem.
I think that's the one game where we can look at. I mean, now will everybody be in their seats by kickoff? Probably not. That's asking way too much out of our fans. But I'd say about like towards the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, you'll see a full stadium.
Yeah. So I've got my best friend from Seattle. He lives in Seattle now. He's coming.
That's a good city. I used to live there.
Yeah, man. He's the director of the Seattle Symphony. He's coming in for the game, man. I'm hoping we can do a Discord meetup because he's an entertaining fella. I'd like you all to get to experience him, man.
To be for real, some of y'all ready to jump in a bathtub with a hairdryer when we were down 7-0. Buddy, I had the hairdryer in a bathtub when they kicked it off. Like, I was ready, man. I stay ready with that one.
I remember I joined the pot.
And I was pretty frustrated.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. It just like, I think some people it's just better if, like, and I'm not calling any one person out. I just think it's better if they're like, maybe they should just wait. Because I mean, you're gonna get some take like you need to fire on English at halftime. It's because he gave up one play for a first down, and that's just how it's gonna go in there. Yeah. It doesn't mean I think everybody can come back after the game and go, okay, yeah, that was stupid. But I think the point of like that is like, just say what's on your mind during the game as it's going on. And then, I mean, give it a couple plays, and then you'll be saying that Ron English is the best defensive coach in the history of mankind after we get a sack. Yeah. So, that's just how it goes.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was walking up to the TV to turn it off before that interception in the end zone. I was like, man, this game is over. They're about to score, go up 17-0. I was like, this game's over. I was walking up to the TV.
And we lost. Oh, there you are.
That was the biggest play in the game, in my opinion.
Pat, you're I don't know for anybody else, but you're kind of breaking in and out for me.
Yeah, he's cutting up for me too.
Okay.
Oh no, man. Well, you all missed my analysis of me about to turn off the game right before the big interception in the end zone, man.
I hear you now. Yeah, that was tough, man. I was so mad in the first half. I did walk away for about 5 minutes, and I missed like 3 or 4 plays. And I mean, I'm the kind now when I'm mad in person, like I'm not going to say a whole lot, but I start pacing. I'll say it in the Discord, I'll type it, but like if you were like with me, you wouldn't know I'm like typing this craziness. Well, except my nephew who's with me and he's in the Discord. So I get up and start pacing, but when it gets real bad, I'll just walk upstairs, go talk to my wife for a little bit, and then she'll say, she'll kind of be able to tell if it's not going good or not. She'll just look at me and know, but I won't talk about it. I tell her I don't want to talk about it like when they're doing bad. Like I won't talk about it. That's why I'm up here with you. I need to cool down, and then I go back down there and I start pacing. I got a lot of steps in the night. Every time we got the third down, whether it was on offense or defense in the second half, I mean, I thought I was about to blow a gasket. Like I thought my blood pressure was going to blow through the roof. It's just so many high stress moments, man. It wears on you. But all right, guys, we're 5-0 heading into Notre Dame. Just want to get on here, get a post-game reaction. Loved what we saw in the end. Doesn't always look pretty during it, but hey, I love that final score, even if it's 3 points. A win's a win. We will be in a top 25 next week for a top 25 matchup, possibly top 10 versus top 25 matchup.
I was going to ask, where do you think we end up?
23.
There was a whole weekend full of football left, but
23. But I mean, yeah, without knowing who's going to win or lose in front, it's hard to know. But I'm just going to guess blindly 23.
I think without a doubt, they'll put us in the top 25 because it sells.
Definitely should.
So I'm with you. I'm at 23, 24.
Yeah, I was thinking they would put us right at 25 unless, obviously, of course, a bunch of ranked teams lose.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can see that.
Yep. All right. Well,
days.
I think we've said everything. Glad y'all could join us tonight. 5-0. And we'll do this again. We'll be on Wednesday, our normal time at 9:00, barring unforeseen things towards the, unexpected things. We should be on next Wednesday at 9. And I mean, that's a big one. So surely we will find a way to do that because it is the biggest game in a long time since that Lamar Florida State game at home. We want to be on that night, and we want y'all to join us. And feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already to the Third Banner Pod.
Share with your friends.
We thank you guys. Trent, thank you for coming on tonight, man.
No problem.
And listen, Trent, I want you feeding those boys milk, Pediasure, whatever. I need some future U of L offensive linemen.
Good luck. I'm about 6 foot, but the missus, she's 5 foot even. So I'm just hoping they can play varsity sports one day.
All right. Well, some fullbacks then. Some.
There you go. Yeah.
Short stout fullbacks, man.
There we go.
All right.
I do what I can.
All right, I think we're going to sign off. Ash, awesome that you got to go to that game tonight, man. Watch Deuce play in person. I don't know if you recorded the game, but if you did, it's not pretty, man. But hey, just know we win in the end. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to sign off. Does anybody else have any final thoughts?
It's 5-0
days, boys. 57 days.
57 days to beat UK.
There we go.
All right. Last thing, Uriah, I do not think we're going to get game day. I think that's going to go to Texas and Oklahoma.
It would be Notre Dame 3 times in a row, wouldn't it?
It'd be Notre Dame 3 times in a row. I don't think they'll give it to them 3 times in a row. And Texas and Oklahoma are both having good seasons, so I fully expect it to be the Red River Shootout. All right, guys, I got to get off here. Everybody have a great weekend. We started off on the right foot. All right, with that, I'll end it with a go Cards.
Go Cards.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man.